Hmm. Hello? 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 Okay, no. Now it works. Okay. Sorry about that. You didn't miss much. I was just going Ribu, Rima, Raku, Raka, Raku, Reku, Reku. Is that a word? Reku? Segway. Regu. Regway. Segway. Regway. Regboy. Renway. Runway. Renew. Renew. Renun. Rebun. Oh, rebun? Rebuff? Rebull? Rebuck? What is this word? Renux? Renuz? Renuv? Rerun? Rerun! No R. Relun. Rebun. Rewon. Requa. Not a word. Recuck. Renun. Is that a word? That is not a word. What am I missing? Recun. Revun. Rian. Reue. Retinue. Renue. Revway. Revu. Revudge? Guys. Recu. Wait! That's a word? Recu? Oh no, Renue. Sounds like a word. Oh no. Review? Sounds like a word. Recu? Review? Review? Or this review. Review. Oh, I'm just dumb. I don't know what this word means. Review. All right. What's up, Rude Noise? What's up, Michael? How's it going? What's up, Sunnyside? How you doing? Hey, Psyduck. What's up, Mary? How's it going? Hey, Malik. Okay. What is a review? A light theatrical entertainment. Okay, well, I am not cultured, guys. I have no idea what this is. A light theatrical entertainment consists of a series of short sketches, songs, and dances. Typically dealing satirically with topical issues. Oh. Review. Review. Something fancy? Gotcha. Got 21 degrees and snow in Hamilton, Montana. Oof. 21 degrees. Yeah. Not good. You know, it's pretty bad here too. I think it's like, let's see. Right now it is 58 degrees. Oof. Cold as fuck. That's the song. Review. Should we look at what a review is? I want to know. Cold enough to snow in Cali? All right. Let's see what a review is. Would this be one?
The number one mistake people with type 2 make is using metformin instead of just eating this cheap fruit.
Definitely not one.
Was a famous trumpet man from out Chicago way. He had a boogie C. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B. They made him blow a bugle for it.
Okay. Enough of that. Now I know what it is. You wish it were 58 in your house? How cold is it in your house right now? It's 58 outside. In my house, it would be, what, 65. A little bit chilly, a little chilly. Or 66. What's up, Nikki? How's it going? All right. Let's do connections. Play the one with the Andrew sisters. Okay. Andrew sisters. This one? Hey, I'm getting more cultured, which is good. Not sure about this.
If you ever go down Trinidad, they make you feel so very glad. Calypso, sing and make up rhyme, guarantee you one real good fine time. Drinking rum and Coca-Cola. Go down.
All right. I made a decision. Review is not for me. It might be for some people. I can see it. I can kind of see it. This is not a review? Oh, okay. I'm looking for black and white videos from the 1940s. Okay, so are these just like imitations? Anyways, it's more like a genre, I say. All right. Continue with this. Get review out of the search. All right. No more looking at chat for this game. Snap, screw, burn, zest. Louse, wedge, zing, might. Slice, muck, bit, ouch. Little, twist, foul, tad. Snap, zing, zest. Oh, lemon. Lemon zest, lemon wedge, lemon slice, and lemon twist. Oh, it's gotta be it. Yes. All right. Louse, screw, ouch, bit, foul. A tad, a little, a mite, and a bit, I think. So a little bit of thing. Yeah, a little bit, a mite. Just a tad, just a little. All right. Not bad. Screw muck louse. A louse is singular of lice. But I don't think that applies to anything else though. Foul, burn. When you burn, you say ouch. But that's it. You don't say zing. Muck. You can muck about. You can snap about, burn about, foul about. Nope. You can land a zinger, a screwer, an oucher. No, a fouler. You can You can score a sick burn, a sick ouch, a foul. Oh wait. Football, a snap, a foul, a zing. No. Screw, ouch. Screw, snap. A snap, ouch. Burn, muck. Ooh, okay, that's kind of hard. You louse? I think louse is like an insult, right? Something screwy is going on. Something foul is going on. There's a louse here. I don't know. I feel like muck, foul, louse, and screw are kind of related. I don't know how, but they're kind of related. Oh! Like you screw up. Oh, like you muck up something. You louse up something? I've never heard someone say that. You foul up something. I know that. Okay. Then what is this? Comment after an insult. Oh, okay. I guess comments after I play connections. Burn, ouch, snap, zing. Oh, okay. Like, oh, snap. Oh, zing. Ouch. Burn. Gotcha. Makes sense. Makes sense. I still got it in the end. Has Linfamy learned Italian yet? I learned this. Have you guys, oh man. Remember that scene in Inglourious Bastards? Oh, such a good scene. Can we watch it? Do people actually say zing? I think that's like a... How long was that? How long ago was that? 1980s? 1970s? I don't think even when I was growing up, I don't think anyone said zing. I know we say zingers. I don't think anyone I've heard has said zing before. You remember that scene that you were talking about? Yeah. Which is his best movie? What do you think? I think Inglourious Bastards it's in the running for his best movie. Tarantino's. Inglourious Bastard. You think Django? Django is good. Django is good. But Inglourious Bastards, I remember so many scenes from Inglourious Bastards. Just so many iconic scenes. With Django, I knew it was a good movie when I watched it, but like I don't recall as many iconic scenes. Inglourious Bastards, Italian scene. All right. Oh, this one. Wait. They're pretending to be Italian, okay? Might be what I would sound like if I did that. A few minutes. Gotta watch out for copyright.
Fräulein von Hammersmark.
Oberstlander, es ist lange her. Schneidig wie eh und je.
Also, was ist mit Ihrem wunderschönen Bein geschehen? Ein Nebenprodukt der Arschtritte, die Sie in der deutschen Filmwelt austeilen, zweifelsohne.
Sparen Sie sich Ihre Komplimente, Sie alter Hund. Ich kenne zu viele von Ihren früheren Eroberungen, als dass ich in Ihren Honigtopf treten könnte.
Na, im Ernst, was ist passiert?
Tja, ich habe mich, dummerweise muss ich eingestehen, im Bergsteigen versucht. Das ist das Ergebnis.
Bergsteigen? Dabei haben Sie Ihr Bein verletzt. Beim Bergsteigen?
Ob Sie es glauben oder nicht.
Oh, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm gonna get copyrighted. But it's such a good scene. Oh, can't do it. I think Brad Pitt in here is really good. He is so funny. Too bad. Freaking YouTube. It's just 4 minutes. Why can't I do it? Why? Yeah, you get the gist. They start talking. It's so funny. Anyways, hold on. The bar scene is intense. That scene is intense. And the opening scene. There's so many good scenes. Kill Bill was good. He did Kill Bill. Yeah, that's in the running, I think. I don't think Pulp Fiction was that great. It was good. I don't think it's in the running. I think Inglourious Bastard would be good. That's his best movie. Django best scene was DiCaprio's improvisation after smashing his hand into glass. Yeah. The only thing, one of the iconic scene from Django is what I remember. Yeah, he did do his thing and he slammed the glass, I think, right? And he cut his hand on the glass, but instead of stopping the scene, DiCaprio just kept on going and made it a great scene with his hand bleeding and he's holding it while he's doing his rant. Oh my God. What an actor. Reservoir Dogs. I saw that one. I don't remember much about it. I think I liked it. Anyways. Okay. All right, quickly. All right, Samantha. Let's do it in less than 10 minutes. Let's do it. Can we do it? Timer. Oscar. Award. Sky. Blue. Glass. Drink. Water. Tub. Huh! Tub. Bath. Sink. Toilet. Bathroom. Door. Room. Bedroom. Bed. House. Wait a minute. Ceiling. Kitchen. Living. Seat. Restroom. Washroom. Hot tub. Shower? Office. Lounge. How about a I don't think we can do living room. Skibbity toilet. A bath? I think yeah, we try that. How about a closet? Oh! Hey! What was that? 2 minutes? Not bad. Less than that? I think so. Good job, guys. All right. As a reward, get some Japanese snacks. Hi. What do you think this is? Mochi, baby. Strawberry flavored, it seems. It's okay, individually wrapped. Okay, they're kind of squished. Yeah. Not the typical mochi shape, but you know, same taste. They are pink. All right. Ooh, squishy. Squish rating is pretty much a 9 out of 10. Pretty good. Yeah. It's strawberry mochi, and it has a filling of. Yeah, it's pretty good. Has a typical mochi texture. Which is already good. I think I'll rate it a pretty sugary. Maybe I'd like it to be less sugary. So I'm gonna say a solid 7.5 out of 10. Yeah. 0 out of 10 crunch. True. Do the balls in boba add flavor? Hell yeah. I'm kind of a boba connoisseur now. Okay, I can't drink boba where the balls are not flavored. They need to be flavored. Okay, they need to be like soaked in honey or brown sugar or some other flavoring. If it's just unflavored boba, it's just not good. They have matcha flavored balls these days, which is amazing. All right. Next we have not sure about this. Okay. Never seen something like this before. Look at that. What do you think that is? Like, what is that? What are those pieces? Meat cereal? It looks crunchy. Does it? It looks squishy. Yeah, there's kind of a squish to it. Ooh, definitely savory. Look, it's squishy. Squish. Can you see? Squish. Not too squishy, not mochi squishy, but relatively squishy. Not so sure, guys. I think it's rice. I taste rice and maybe soy sauce. It's also a little sweet. You know what? After chewing for a while, it's not bad. I was kind of biased in the beginning. It's not bad. Yeah. Kind of chewy rice. Yeah, I wonder what it is. I think it's rice. It's like sticky rice. Okay. Yeah, a little savory, a little sweet, but not too good, I think. I'm gonna have to give it a 6.5 out of 10. 6.5, okay. Not terrible. Yep, 0 out of 10 crunch. Again. Alright, next we have this. Yeah. Okay, well, don't be fooled. It's not this thing. It's not the cupcake. It's the one on this side. This little thing here. Ooh, it's a little butt for you. Look at that. Very nice. But it's actually this thing. Okay. Open. There's another package inside because the Japanese love packaging. Ooh, nice little way to open it. And these things. Okay, I think we had these before, but they're different flavored. This one looks like some kind of cupcake flavored. Yeah. Ooh. 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 Like a pastry. Like the stuff on the outside. A little flaky, a little crunchy. It's pretty good, actually. Yeah, it's not bad. I taste peach, I believe. And it's a little bit sweet. Oh, I think I have another one. Yeah. Sweet, peachy. Not bad. And yeah, with the pastry kind of taste, texture is pretty good. That's gotta be like a 8.1. 8.1. I'm not a big fan of peach. Okay. Maybe a different flavor will make it higher. But 8.1 is pretty solid. Oh, you don't like peach, Nikki? Hey, what's up, Kaibyo Hime? Yeah, you're binging it? Cool. Yeah. Let us know when you catch up. Glad you're liking the story. You'd eat a real peach, you wouldn't eat a real tomato. What's wrong with tomato? You don't like a BLT sandwich? What about tomato in burgers? Real tomatoes are gross? Excuse me. What do you mean? I mean, would I eat a tomato by itself? Probably not. But like with other stuff, I'd eat it. No tomato on your BLT or sandwich. Tomato smells so strong and you don't like the taste. Tomatoes are not that bad. Alright. I'm trying to put this back in. Get in! Yours would be durian, but you don't think you tried it. How do you know it's bad if you haven't tried it? Well, I mean, mine would be durian too. I can't eat the durians. Okay. My parents love them, however. I don't know how they do it. Gotta turn the tomato into something to make it edible. Okay. Yeah, the smell. I mean, some people say that the smell does smell kind of bad, but when you eat it, it's not too bad. Yeah, because it tastes sweet. It doesn't taste like shoe. I like how it smells. But I still don't like it. It's that texture for me. The durian texture is also not good. It's like, yeah. And it just makes me want to throw up. Yeah. Similar to the texture of bananas. When I take a bite of a banana, it's like, yeah, that texture. And then I just want to yeah it all out. All right. Jackfruits smell really bad. Jackfruits are good. I like them. Well, duh. You don't bite bananas? Wait, how do you eat bananas? In a sundae? with ice cream? Banana split? How do you eat bananas then? Gotta swallow them whole, like I say. Yeah. I don't know if I want to give you guys that visual. Mashed banana on toast. You're kidding me, right? You're joking, right? Mashed banana on toast. I mean, some people eat very weird things. But we can agree starfruit and bitter gourd are the worst. Bitter melon, I do not like. For obvious reasons. Mashed toast on banana. Yum. Yum. I don't like 1,000-year eggs. What are they called? What is the actual name? Century eggs. Preserved egg. Preserved egg. But I don't like preserved egg. Let me show you. I don't like preserved eggs. But I think it's just a mental thing. Like the few times I've had it, it's not that bad. It's actually like pretty tasty. But in my mind, I know that it is just bacteria and whatever is in it. It's just a bad egg. Just the egg that went bad, right? Isn't it? Yeah. It's just how it looks. I think so. I mean, it has a distinctive taste that is not that bad. You hate eggs, so no thanks. You don't eat eggs at all? Christopher Walken from the chat. I think eggs are God's food. You can do so much with them. You can fry them. You can poach them. You can scramble them. You can put all kinds of stuff on them. You just eat them raw, like drink them raw, like some people do. You can do so much with them. It's not balut. Oh, okay. I love balut. Anyways. Eggs, cheese, any kind? Oh. Anyways. Okay. Let's do it. All right. What happened last week? Okay, to recap. Last week, our heroes, Guojing and Hongrong, they're in this restaurant booth. They're right next to the villains. Okay, the villains, Wen Yan Honglia, Yang Kang, and Oh Yang Feng. They overhear the villains talking about their plans to steal the military manual. Okay, of the ancient warlord or general or whatever, Yue Fei. Also, we also hear Yang Kang call Wen Yan Honglia his father. Okay, calls him father. And this gets Guojing enraged because Wen Yan Honglia was the one who killed the biological father of Yang Kang. And now Yang Kang is calling him his father. Okay, what a betrayal. Guojing and Hongrong, they decide to set fire to part of the restaurant. Okay, these people don't really think much of burning other people's properties, do they? So they burn part of the restaurant, and the villains, they flee. And then our heroes, they sneak into the Imperial Palace to get good food for Hong Qigong, because he's about to die, as he says. In the palace, Guojing and Hongrong, they run in across the villains again, which includes a bunch of Wen Yan Honglia's martial arts men. Okay. They presumably, the villains, they find the place where the manual is hidden. Okay, it's behind a waterfall. Guojing and Hongrong try to stop them, and they're doing pretty well. Okay, fighting with the minions until Oh Yang Feng steps in, and he's just too strong. He just kind of overpowers them. Hongrong makes a ruckus, and the palace guards arrive, and they start fighting with the minions. But in the meantime, Oh Yang Feng and Yang Kang, they go in behind the waterfall, and they grab the manual, and they make a run for it. Guojing tries to stop them, and he's fighting with Oh Yang Feng, but Yang Kang, okay, remember, Yang Kang is Guojing's sworn brother, remember? Yang Kang stabs Guojing in the side and escapes, okay? But in the kerfuffle, he leaves his dagger in Guojing's body, okay? He didn't have time to take it out, and he runs away. Hongrong, afterwards, she finds Guojing's body on the ground, bleeding with the dagger, and she's all distraught. But then she carries Guojing to the inn where they met that girl named Xiagu sometime earlier. Okay, Xiagu means silly girl. Guojing is not doing well. But he says that the 9 Yin manual has this technique to heal injuries, but Hongrong must touch palms with him for 7 days uninterrupted. Okay, they need to sit and touch palms and do the energy transfer or whatever, healing energy. They need to stay that way for 7 days uninterrupted. Okay, if their focus wavers or their palms separate, before the time is up, Guo Jing would die. So they just stay there uninterrupted. Huang Rong decides to do it in this room where they found the 2 dead bodies and the treasures. Okay, because there's less chance of interruption. She stocks the room with enough food for 7 days. I'm not sure how they would eat if they need to concentrate so much, or how they do their bathroom business, but okay, whatever. Hong Rong tells Shagu not to tell anyone about this, but she's kind of worried. This girl is kind of not right in the head, so she might accidentally reveal it. So Hong Rong contemplates killing the girl. And that's where we left off. How's that? Yang Kong is too noble of a name for him. Demote him to Wen Yan. Yeah, well, he wants to be called Wen Yan Kong. Chilling with Bay and watermelons. Yeah. They stuff a lot of watermelons in the place where they're going to be for 7 days. Yeah, they can't sleep too, so. Do 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 do. Do, 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 do. All right. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. There we go. Do both their hands need to stay in contact or just one hand? Oh, do you think it's just one hand? Wait, let's see. Well, it was one hand, that is super doable. Badoop. All right. Do on a tranquil place. Okay, so he says, we must sit. We'll press one palm against each other's. Okay. Oh, I thought it was both palms. With your strength, helping mime can heal my injuries. Our palms cannot separate. Not even. Okay, so they just need one palm. Now that makes a lot of sense. All right, you can use one hand to eat and wipe your ass, stuff like that. They still have to pee and poo in the same room for a week? Not so bad. Which one of us hasn't done that before? Hold on, let me fix my camera. Kung Fu is hard. Come on, camera. Okay. There you go. Camera has to hold hands with Lin for me for the whole show. I need to keep my hand on the button on the camera for the entire stream. It's a great visual. they're touching palms and they gotta move to the corner to do their business and then move back to the center or whatever, or to the other corner. All right, gang, are you ready? Chapter 24, Part 1: Healing in the Secret Room. Man, after a couple of days, this room would not smell very good. Oh, they can use their other hand to plug their noses. Huang Rong took 2 steps toward the door, then turned back. She noticed suspicion in Guo Jing's eyes and realized he might have sensed the murderous intent on her face, because she's thinking of killing the girl. She thought, if I kill Gu, it won't matter much, but once Jinguge recovers, he'll surely quarrel with me over it. Even if he doesn't say anything, he might silently hold a grudge against me for the rest of his life. That would be unbearable. Fine, we'll take this risk. Okay. Phew, she survives. She closed the cupboard door and carefully examined the secret room. In the west corner of the ceiling was a small skylight about a foot square. Through the translucent shell pane, faint daylight filtered in, providing minimal visibility during the day. However, the ventilation holes near the skylight had been clogged with dirt over time. She used a dagger to clear the holes. Even so, the air in the room remained heavy and foul. Oh, it's about to get much more foul. Reflecting on the near despair she'd felt earlier, she now felt like this dusty, cramped space was a sanctuary. Damn, you're 24 chapters too late? Yeah, you're gonna be pretty confused reading it from chapter 24. Guo Jing, leaning against the wall, smiled and said, "This is a perfect place to heal, though it means keeping company with 2 dead people. Aren't you scared?" Hong Rong was indeed frightened, but she feigned indifference. "One is my senior brother. He would never harm me. The other was just a useless officer. If I wasn't afraid of him alive, why would I fear him as a ghost?" she replied with a smile. She then moved the 2 skeletons to the north corner of the room, spread out the straw used for cushioning the watermelons, and surrounded the area with the watermelons for easy access. "How's this?" she asked. Your brain is so massive you could probably pick it up quickly. All right, Christopher Walken. That's the spirit. "Perfect. Let's begin," Guo Jing said. Hong Rong helped him sit on the straw and then positioned herself cross-legged to his left. As she looked up, she noticed a small hole in the wall, no bigger than a coin. Peering through it, she was delighted to find a tiny mirror embedded in the wall. It reflected the scene outside in the main hall, allowing anyone hiding inside to observe external activity. Okay, good. Clearly, whoever built the secret room had been meticulous in their planning. Over time, the mirror had become coated in dust. Wrapping her finger in a handkerchief, she reached through the hole and cleaned the mirror. Through the now clear mirror, she saw Gu sitting on the ground, tossing pebbles, while her lips moved as if singing. Hong Rong pressed her ear to the hole and heard her clearly singing a lullaby. Oh no. "Rock, rock, rock, to Grandma's bridge we go. Grandma calls me her good baby." At first, Huang Rong found it amusing, but as the soft, affectionate melody continued, she was struck by its poignancy. Was this what her mother sang to her? If my mother hadn't passed away so early, would she have sung like this to comfort me? Tears welled up in her eyes at the thought. Seeing the sorrowful expression on her face, Guo Jing asked, "What's on your mind? My injury isn't serious. Don't be sad." Hong Rong wiped her eyes and replied, "Quick, teach me the method for healing you." Guo Jing slowly recited the section on healing from the 9 Yin manual. Martial arts often teach, before learning to strike others, learn to endure blows. Beginners are taught techniques for absorbing hits without sustaining serious injuries. At advanced levels, practitioners delve into skills like self-preservation, unsealing acupoints, healing injuries, and setting broken bones. Even the most skilled fighters can have moments of misfortune. The 9 Yin Manual's healing section focused on internal energy to regulate and restore balance when injured by internal force. External injuries like fractures or surface wounds were considered secondary concerns for those who mastered the manual's teachings. Hongrong memorized the text after hearing it once. So smart. There were a few passages she didn't fully understand, but together they worked through the meaning. Guojing's grounding in the Chenjin school's internal energy techniques and Hongrong's exceptional intelligence allowed them to quickly grasp the method. Hongrong extended her right palm to meet Guojing's left palm. They each focused their internal energy and began practicing according to the manual's guidance. After 2 hours, they paused for a short break. Hongrong used a dagger to slice a watermelon, sharing it with Guojing without separating their hands. By late afternoon, Guojing felt the pressure in his chest lighten slightly. Warm energy from Hongrong's palm slowly dispersed through his body, easing the pain in his waist. He marveled at the extraordinary effectiveness of the manual, and with renewed determination, continued the healing process without even the slightest slackening of effort. You wish someone could adopt Xiaogu? Yeah. Yeah, seems sad that she has to live all by herself. By their third break, the sunlight streaming through the skylight had begun to fade. It was nearing dusk. Not only was Guojing feeling much relieved in his chest, but even Hongrong felt clear-headed and refreshed. What's up, Sal? How's it going? Glad you can make it. The two chatted briefly and were about to resume their practice when they suddenly heard hurried footsteps outside. The steps stopped abruptly at the front of the shop, followed by several people entering. There are people outside. A rough voice barked, "Bring food and wine, quick! We're starving!" The voice was unmistakably belonged to Ho Tong Hai, the three-headed dragon. Guojing and Hongrong exchanged surprised glances. Hongrong quickly pressed her eye to the peephole, and sure enough, it was no coincidence. The figures reflected in the small mirror were none other than Wen Yan Honglia, O Yangfeng, Yang Kang, Peng Lianhu, and others. Man, they sure seem to run into each other very often. At that moment, Xiaogu was nowhere to be seen, likely off playing somewhere. Despite Ho Tong Hai slamming the tables with deafening force, no one came out to attend to them. Liang Ziwang circled the shop, frowning. "There's no one living here," he said. Ho Tong Hai volunteered to go to the village and buy food and wine. Meanwhile, O Yangfeng spread some straw in the inner hall, away from the draft, and gently placed his injured nephew down to rest. Peng Lianhu chuckled. "These imperial guards and palace troops are useless cowards. Even so, they're everywhere, relentless as ghosts, leaving us no peace all day." Okay, they've been running away from the guards. "Prince, you're a northerner, yet you knew of this remote village along the Qiantai River and led us here. Truly, there's nothing you can't accomplish." Though Wen Yan Honglia received the flattery, his face showed no pride, only a faint sigh. "Hey, I came here 19 years ago," he said softly. His tone carried a tinge of melancholy, and the others, noticing the sadness in his expression, were puzzled. None of them knew he was recalling how Bao Xi had saved his life in this very village. The desolate village remained, but the gentle woman with the green dress and simple hairpin who once nursed him with chicken soup was gone forever. While he spoke, Ho Tong Hai returned with food and wine purchased from the villagers. Peng Lianhu poured drinks for everyone, and raised the bowl towards Wenyan Honglia. Your Highness has obtained a miraculous military manual today. Soon the great Jin will dominate the world and bring peace to all lands. We toast to your Highness. With that, he drained the bowl in one gulp. Peng's voice carried clearly through the walls, and Guo Jing heard every word. His heart sank. Grandpa Yue's book has still fallen into their hands, he thought, alarmed. Anxiousness surged within him, causing his internal energy to reverse flow. Huang Rong immediately felt the turbulence in his palm and realized that the bad news had disrupted his concentration. If he couldn't regain control, it could threaten his life. She leaned close to his ear and whispered, Even if they've stolen the book, does that mean we can't steal it back? With your second master, the marvelous-handed scholar, on our side, he could retrieve 10 books without trouble. Guo Jing saw reason in her words, quickly shut his eyes, and steadied his mind, ignoring the conversation on the other side of the wall. Okay, he says Grandpa Yue. Is that like a common term to refer to Yue Fei? Huang Rong looked through the peephole again. She saw Wenyan Honglia raising his bowl and, after draining it, saying cheerfully, This success is all thanks to everyone's efforts, especially Master Ouyang's. Without him driving away that Guo boy, it would have taken us much more trouble. Ouyang Feng laughed, his voice harsh like clanging cymbals. How do I do a clanging cymbal laugh? Ha 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 ha! Ping, ting, ting, ting. Hearing this, Guo Jing's heart jolted again. Huang Rong prayed silently. Heaven, please don't let that old poisoner start playing his ghastly zither, or Jingugu's life will be in grave danger. Ouyang Feng said, This place is remote. The song troops won't search here. Let's take a look at Yue Fei's manual so everyone can see it. He pulled the stone box from his robe and set it on the table. If the manual contained profound martial arts secrets, he intended to claim it for himself. If it was merely strategies and tactics, he would let Wenyan Honglia have it as a favor. For a moment, all eyes were fixed on the stone box. Huang Rong thought, How can I destroy the book? Better it's ruined than left in these villains' hands. Wenyan Honglia said, By studying Yue Fei's enigmatic verses and researching palace construction records from the Zhao dynasty, I deduced that the manual must be hidden 15 steps east of the Tuihan Hall. As it turned out, my deduction was fortunately correct. The Song dynasty is truly incompetent. Not a single person knew that such a treasure was hidden in the palace. After all the commotion we caused last night, I doubt anyone even understands what we were after. His tone was smug, and the others seized the opportunity to shower him with more praise. Wenyan Honglia stroked his beard and said with a smile, Kang-er, open the stone box. Yang Kang stepped forward, removed the seal, and lifted the lid. Everyone's gaze immediately fixed on the box's interior, but their expressions changed drastically. They all appeared utterly astonished and speechless. The box was completely empty. Bum, bum, bum. There wasn't even a single sheet of blank paper, let alone a military manual. Yeah, maybe there's like a secret compartment or something. Although Huang Rong couldn't see the box's contents, the looks on their faces made it clear to her that it was empty. Her heart filled with both joy and amusement. Wenyan Honglia, deeply disheartened, slumped into a chair, propped his head on his hand, and fell into a deep thought. calculated everything so precisely. Yue Fei's manual should unquestionably have been in this box. How could it just vanish like this? Suddenly a thought crossed his mind, and his face brightened. Grabbing the stone box, he rushed into the courtyard and hurled it forcefully into the stone slabs. With a loud crash, the box shattered into pieces. Hearing the sound of breaking stone, Hongrong immediately realized, the stone box has a hidden compartment. She was desperate to know whether the manual was hidden inside, but couldn't leave the room. However, before long, Wenyan Honglia returned to his seat, dejected. I knew there was a hidden compartment, he said, but there's still nothing inside. Oh, okay. So there was a hidden compartment, and that's also empty. Maybe there's like a hidden compartment, you know? The group began to discuss and speculate wildly. Listening to their absurd theories, Hongrong couldn't help but laugh to herself. She quickly whispered the news to Guo Jing. Upon hearing that Yue Fei's manual hadn't been stolen, Guo Jing felt greatly relieved. Hongrong thought, these villains won't give up so easily. They're sure to try entering the palace again, but with Master still there, he might be implicated. Even though Zhou Bo Tong is with him, that old eccentric can't handle serious matters properly. The thought made her anxious. Sure enough, she soon heard Ouyang Feng say, It's not a big deal. We'll just search the palace again tonight. Wenyan Honglia replied, That won't work tonight. After all the chaos we caused last night, the palace will surely tighten its defenses. Ouyang Feng said confidently, Increased defenses are inevitable, but that's nothing to worry about. Prince, you and your son can rest here tonight with my nephew. Wenyan Honglia cupped his hands respectfully. Once again, I must trouble you, sir. I will await good news. The group spread straw mats on the hall floor and lay down to rest. After sleeping for about an hour, Ouyang Feng led the others back into the city. Wenyan Honglia, however, couldn't fall asleep. Around midnight, he could faintly hear the sound of the tide rising on the river, and from the end of the village, the sporadic, mournful barking of a dog, as if it were crying. The quiet night deepened his unease. After some time, he suddenly heard footsteps outside, approaching the door. He sat up abruptly, sword in hand. Yang Kang had already leaped behind the door, ready to ambush. All right, Sal, have a good sleep. In the moonlight, they saw a disheveled woman humming a children's lullaby as she pushed open the door and entered. Oh no. What's going to happen? It was Xia Gu, returning home after playing in the woods. Seeing people sleeping in the shop, she didn't think much of it. She went to her usual spot among the pile of firewood, lay down, and soon started snoring. Okay. Seeing it was just a simple-minded village girl, Yang Kang smiled and went back to sleep. Wenyan Honglia, however, couldn't calm his thoughts. Restless, he lit a candle, took out a book, and began reading. What? So these people just let her sleep there? What? Why? How? Why? Hongrong noticed the light filtering through the peephole and leaned in to look. She saw a moth fluttering around the candle before suddenly diving into the flame. Its wings singed, it fell onto the table. Wenyan Honglia picked up the moth, his expression somber. If my Lady Bao were here, she would have treated you gently, he thought. He pulled out a small silver knife and a medicine vial from his pocket, fiddling with them absent-mindedly. Hongrong lightly tapped Guo Jing's shoulder and moved aside so he could look. Guo Jing glanced through the peephole and his anger surged. He recognized the silver knife and medicine vial as belongings of Yang Kang's mother, Bao Xi Ruo. He had seen her use them to treat an injured rabbit at Prince Zhao's manor. They heard Wen Yanhonglia softly say, 19 years ago, in this very village, I met you for the first time. Alas, I wonder what your old home looks like now. With a sigh, he stood up, took the candle, and walked out the door. Guojing was startled. Could this really be Niujia village, where my parents lived? He leaned close to Huang Rong and whispered. Huang Rong nodded. A surge of emotions flooded Guojing's chest, making him sway slightly. Huang Rong, her right palm pressed against his left, sensed his internal energy becoming chaotic, a clear sign of his agitation. Concerned for his safety, she quickly pressed her left palm against his right, and together they focused their energy. Only then did Guojing gradually regain his composure. After a while, they saw flickering firelight and heard Wen Yanhonglia let out a long sigh as he walked back into the shop. By now, Guojing had managed to calm his turbulent thoughts. His left palm still pressed against Huang Rong's, he leaned toward the peephole to observe. Wen Yanhonglia sat by the candlelight, holding a few broken tiles, staring into space. Guojing thought to himself, that villain is less than 10 steps away. If I throw this dagger, I could take his life instantly. He reached for the golden dagger given to him by Genghis Khan and whispered to Hong Rong, Turn the door latch open. Hong Rong immediately objected. No, killing him would be easy, but our hiding place would be exposed. Guojing, his voice trembling, said, If we wait 6 more days and nights, who knows where he'll go? All right, Christopher Walken. Yeah, have a good sleep. Good night. Knowing it was hard to dissuade him in his current state, Hong Rong whispered softly in his ear, Your mother and I both want you to live well. Guojing froze, her words striking him deeply. He nodded, sheathed the golden dagger, and returned his gaze to the peephole. He saw that Wen Yanhonglia had fallen asleep on the table. Suddenly, someone sat up from the pile of straw. Their face was hidden outside the circle of candlelight, making it difficult to identify them in the mirror. The person quietly stood, walked behind Wen Yanhonglia, and picked up the small silver knife and medicine bottle from the table, examining them for a moment before setting them down gently. Turning back, the figure revealed himself. It was young Kang. Guojing thought, Yes, you want to avenge your parents. This is your chance. A single strike, and your mortal enemy will be gone forever. If the old venomous one returns, you won't get another chance. Yeah, you think he's gonna do it? Growing anxious, he wished Yang Kang would act immediately. But Yang Kang simply gazed at the silver knife and medicine bottle, lost in thought. A breeze blew through the room, causing the candlelight to flicker. Then, unexpectedly, Yang Kang removed his outer robe and gently draped it over Wen Yanhonglia's shoulders to keep him warm. Of course. Guojing was furious and couldn't bear to watch any longer. He was utterly bewildered by Yang Kang's tenderness toward the man who had murdered his parents. Huang Rong tried to console him. Don't worry. Once you've healed, we can hunt that villain to the ends of the earth. He's not Ouyang Feng. Killing him won't be hard. Guojing nodded and resumed focusing on his energy. By dawn, the roosters in the village began crowing in response to one another. The energy within the two had completed 7 circuits through their small heavenly cycle. Both felt refreshed and at peace. Hong Rong raised a finger with a smile and said, 1 day has passed. All right, 1 day down, guys. 6 more to go. Guojing whispered, That was close. If you hadn't stopped me, I might have ruined everything by losing my composure. Hong Rong replied, 6 more days and nights to go, and you promised to listen to me. Guo Jing chuckled. When have I ever not listened to you? Hong Rong gave him a slight smile, tilting her head. Let me think about that. A beam of sunlight streamed through the skylight, illuminating her face, fair with a hint of pink, as radiant as morning clouds. Guo Jing suddenly became aware of how soft and warm her palm felt, and a faint ripple stirred in his chest. Embarrassed, he quickly steadied his thoughts, but his face had already turned red. Did it actually stir in his chest? Or was it elsewhere? Since their time together, Guo Jing had never had such thoughts about her. He was both shocked and ashamed of himself. Seeing him suddenly blushing, Hong Rong was puzzled. Jingge, what's wrong with you? She asked. Guo Jing lowered his head. I'm awful. I just thought... What did you think? Hong Rong asked curiously. I thought about holding you and kissing you, Guo Jing admitted, his voice trailing off. Hong Rong felt her heart grow warm, and her face flushed as well. She lowered her head shyly, her delicate features now tinged with a charming blush. Guo Jing, seeing her silent, asked nervously, Runger, are you mad at me? Thinking like this, I'm no different from Ouyang Ke. It's terrible, isn't it? Hong Rong smiled sweetly and said softly, I'm not angry. I was just thinking that someday you'll hold me and kiss me. After all, I'm going to be your wife. Just wait till they need to use a chamber pot. Guo Jing's heart surged with joy, leaving him speechless. Hong Rong teased, Do you want to kiss me that badly? Guo Jing was about to reply to Hong Rong when they suddenly heard hurried footsteps outside. 2 people burst into the shop, and Ho Tonghai's agitated voice rang out. Damn it! I told you, there really are ghosts in this world, but you wouldn't believe me, senior brother. His voice was frustrated and alarmed. Then came Sha Tongtian's voice. What ghosts? I told you, we encountered a true expert. Hong Rong peered through the small peephole. Wait. Let's stop there. Yeah, it's a good place to stop. Little mystery. All right. I will be right back. 5 minutes. And we are back. All right. Now let's see what happened. Give me 1 second. All right. Huang Rong peered through the small peephole and saw Ho Tonghai with his face covered in blood. Ooh. And Sha Tongtian wearing a shredded and tattered robe. The 2 brothers looked utterly disheveled. Wen Yan Honglia and Yang Kang, seeing them in such a state, were astonished and quickly asked what had happened. Ho Tonghai exclaimed, We had bad luck. Last night in the palace, we ran into a ghost. Damn it, my ears were sliced off by that ghost. Was it a ghost or was it Zhou Botong? Wen Yan Honglia, observing Ho Tonghai's bloodied face and noticing the complete absence of his ears, was horrified. Sha Tongtian scolded. Enough of this talk about ghosts. We haven't lost enough face already. Despite his fear of his senior brother, Ho Tonghai retorted, I saw it clearly. A judge with indigo eyes and a cinnabar mustache was yelling and pouncing at me. When I turned my head, he grabbed my neck, and just like that, my ears were gone. That judge looked exactly like the ones in the temple statues. How could it not be a ghost? Sha Tongtian, who had exchanged 3 moves with the judge, knew the opponent's skills clearly marked him as a martial arts expert, not some supernatural being. Yet the fact that the figure had appeared as a judge puzzled him deeply. The four of them discussed and speculated among themselves. Even when they questioned Ouyang Ke, lying injured nearby, they could make no sense of what had happened. As they spoke, Lingjie Shangren, Peng Lianhu, and Liangzi Wang returned after one another. Was Zhou Botong wearing the mask that Hong Rong bought him? Ah, yeah. That must be it. Lingjie Shangren's hands were bound behind his back with iron chains. Peng Lianhu's face was swollen and bruised, and Liangzi Wang was the most ridiculous sight of all. His once white hair had been plucked clean, leaving him bald like a monk. His shiny pate matched Sha Tongqian's bald head, making them a pair of luminaries in their disgrace. The three of them had split up to search for the Yue Fei military manual in the palace, but had all encountered ghosts. Each had faced a different opponent. One encountered a ghostly reaper, another a celestial officer, and yet another a statue-like earth deity. Yeah, it's Zhou Botong in different masks. Liangzi Wang, clutching his bald head, unleashed a tirade of curses, even dragging every earth goddess in existence into his rant. Peng Lianhu, meanwhile, endured his humiliation in silence, helping unbind Lingjie Shangren's chains. The rusted iron had cut deep into his flesh, and untangling the chain left his wrists bloody. The group sat silently, unable to speak further, knowing they had crossed paths with formidable experts. Yet their bruised egos prevented them from admitting the truth, leaving Ho Tonghai to insist it had all been the work of ghosts. After a long silence, Wen Yan Honglia finally said, "Why hasn't Ouyang Feng returned? Could he have encountered these ghosts as well?" Yang Kang replied, "Ouyang Feng's martial skills are unparalleled. Even if he met a ghost, he wouldn't suffer any harm." Peng Lianhu and the others, hearing this, felt even more humiliated. Hong Rong, watching the scene, was delighted. She thought to herself, "The mask I bought for Brother Zhou really came in handy, far beyond what I had imagined. But I wonder if the old venom crossed paths with him." Through her palms, she felt Guo Jing's inner energy begin to circulate slowly. Sensing his focus, she resumed practicing her energy routine. Meanwhile, the wary group, hungry from their night's debacle, began preparing a meal. Ho Tonghai opened a cabinet and discovered the iron bowl. Oh no. He reached for it, but found it immovable. Confused and frustrated, he cried out, "A ghost!" He applied brute force to lift it, but couldn't budge it. Hearing his cry, Hong Rong was alarmed, realizing their hiding place would soon be discovered. If they were forced into a confrontation, not only would they stand no chance, but any slight movement could endanger Guo Jing's life. She was at a loss for what to do. Outside, Sha Tongqian, irritated by Ho Tonghai's outburst, scolded, "Stop shouting nonsense!" Ho Tonghai, indignant, retorted, "Fine, then you lift it." Sha Tongqian stepped forward, but he too failed to lift the bowl, letting out a surprised, "Huh?" Peng Lianhu came over to inspect, and after examining the mechanism, said, "There's a trick to this. Sha Dagu, try twisting the iron bowl left and right." Oh no. Realizing the danger, Hong Rong had no choice but to act. She handed the dagger to Guo Jing and reached for the bamboo staff Hong Qigong had given her, preparing for a desperate last stand. She glanced at the skeletal remains in the corner, and inspiration struck. She quickly picked up 2 skulls and wedged them into a large watermelon, carving out sections to fit. Wow, she works fast. The hidden door's mechanism creaked open, revealing a narrow gap. Hong Rong placed the watermelon with the skulls on her head, draping her long hair over her face. Just as Sha Tongtian turned the bowl and opened the door fully, a grotesque two-headed monster burst forth, wailing and shrieking. The heads, both skeletal, were set atop a green and blue body, with long black beards hanging below. The group, still reeling from their ghostly encounters the previous night, was paralyzed with fear. Ho Tonghai screamed and bolted out the door. Bah! And the others followed instinctively, unable to resist the urge to flee. Only Ouyang Ke, lying injured and immobile on the straw pile, remained behind, powerless to move. These guys are just really silly. Huang Rong exhaled a long breath of relief and quickly shut the cabinet door. She couldn't help but laugh, but soon realized that while they had managed to escape immediate danger, the villains were experienced figures in the martial world and would undoubtedly return. The fright they had experienced earlier was entirely due to the lingering terror from the previous night when Zhou Botong had scared them out of their wits. Otherwise, how could they have fallen for such a simple trick? As she composed herself and thought of a plan, the sound of the door opening interrupted her thoughts, and someone entered the shop. Huang Rong clutched her ermei steel needle tightly and placed her bamboo staff within reach. She was ready to throw her needle at whoever tried to open the cabinet again. But after a moment, she heard a soft and delicate voice call out, "Shopkeeper! Shopkeeper!" The unexpected tone startled Huang Rong. She quickly peered through the peephole and saw a richly dressed young woman sitting in the hall. The woman wore elegant and luxurious attire, clearly from a wealthy family, but her back was to the mirror, so Huang Rong couldn't see her face. After a while, the woman softly called out again, "Shopkeeper! Shopkeeper!" Huang Rong thought, "That voice sounds so familiar, coquettish and sweet. It sounds like Miss Chung from Baoying County." The woman turned slightly, and indeed, it was none other than Cheng Yao Jia. Huang Rong was both surprised and delighted. What is she doing here? Meanwhile, Sha Gu, who had been woken earlier by Ho Tong Hai and the others, but had returned to sleep in a pile of straw, finally woke up. She's the one that got captured by Ouyang Ke, right? Meanwhile, Sha Gu, who had been woken earlier by Ho Tong Hai and the others, but had returned to sleep in a pile of straw, finally woke up. Stretching, she wandered over to the kitchen and lifted the lid off the wok, revealing a pot full of cooked rice, leftovers from Peng Lianhu and the others. Excited, Sha Gu scooped out 2 bowls, handing one to Cheng Yao Jia, while devouring the other herself. Cheng Yao Jia, seeing there were no dishes to accompany the coarse rice, ate a few bites before setting the bowl aside. Sha Gu, however, happily ate 3 bowls in quick succession, patting her stomach contentedly afterwards. Cheng Yao Jia then asked, "Miss, may I ask how far it is from here to New Family Village?" Sha Gu replied, "New Family Village? This is New Family Village. How far is it from here? I wouldn't know." Excuse me. Cheng Yaojia blushed and lowered her head, fiddling with her sash. After a long pause, she said, "So, this is New Family Village. Then, may I ask if you know someone? A certain..." Before she could finish, Sha Gu, already bored, shook her head repeatedly and ran out of the shop. Huang Rong thought to herself, "Who could she be looking for? Ah, of course. She's Sun Bu'er's disciple, so she's likely here under orders from her master or martial uncles to look for Yang Kang. Choo Choo Cheese's disciple. She watched Cheng Yaojia adjust her dress, touch the pearl hairpins at her temples, and sit properly with a blush on her face and a shy smile at the corners of her lips. Huang Rong found the scene amusing. Suddenly, the sound of footsteps approached again as someone else entered the shop. Wait, who is this woman? Sun Buer's disciple. So she's likely here in order for her master, and Marshall goes to look for Young Kang. Choo Choo Cheese disciple. Oh, okay. All right, someone else enters the shop. The newcomer had a tall, graceful figure and a steady gait. As soon as he stepped inside, he also called out for the shopkeeper. Huang Rong thought, what a coincidence. It seems everyone familiar to me has gathered in Neo Family Village. This place is good for attracting people, if not wealth. The newcomer was none other than Lu Guanying, the young master of Guiyun Manor. The girl we saved from Ouyangke. Yeah, that's what I thought at first. And then I was like, wait, is she? Seeing Cheng Yaojia, Lu Guanying froze momentarily, then called again. Shopkeeper! Cheng Yaojia, noticing a young man, immediately turned her head in embarrassment. Lu Guanying, puzzled by the sight of a beautiful young woman alone in such a place, walked over to the kitchen. Finding no one there, he ladled himself a bowl of rice from the wok and turned to Cheng Yaojia. Miss, I'm terribly hungry. I hope you won't mind if I borrow some rice. Cheng Yaojia lowered her head and smiled faintly, replying softly, It's not my rice. Please help yourself, sir. Lu Guanying ate 2 bowls, then clasped his hands in thanks, bowing politely. Miss, may I ask how far it is from here to Neo Family Village? Both Cheng Yaojia and Huang Rong chuckled inwardly at his question. He's also asking about Neo Family Village. Cheng Yaojia curtsied in response, bashfully replying, This is Neo Family Village. He served himself and then asked, Lu Guanying was overjoyed. That's excellent. Then I'd like to ask if you know someone. There is a man named Guo Jing. Might you know which house he lives in? Is he at home? Cheng Yaojia and Huang Rong were both startled. Why is he looking for Guo Jing? Cheng Yaojia hesitated, her face turning a deep shade of red as she lowered her head, too shy to answer. Huang Rong, seeing Cheng Yaojia's expression, guessed most of the story. So Jing Ge saved her in Baoying, and this young lady has fallen for him. Being young, broad-minded, and fully confident in Guo Jing's loyalty, she felt no jealousy. Oh, good for her. Instead, she found it delightful that someone else admired Guo Jing. Huang Rong's guess was entirely accurate. When Cheng Yaojia had been captured by Ouyangke, though members of the beggar clan like Li Sheng had tried to intervene, none could defeat Ouyangke. Without Guo Jing and Huang Rong's rescue, she would have faced a tragic fate. Seeing Guo Jing's extraordinary skills, coupled with his upright and kind demeanor, her heart became entangled. As the sheltered daughter of a wealthy family, with no prior experience of the world, her first awakening to love left her infatuated with Guo Jing. The 4th love interest? It's too many. After he left, Cheng Yaojia couldn't stop thinking about him. Her longing grew until she mustered the courage to secretly leave her home in the dead of night. Though she had learned martial arts, she had never traveled alone, and knew little of the ways of the martial world. Remembering Guo Jing mentioning that he was from Niu family village near Linan, she made her way there, asking for directions along the way. Her luxurious attire and noble bearing deterred any would-be troublemakers on the road. Yeah, would it? She had inquired at a nearby village and learned that Niu family village was close. However, when Xia Gu told her she was already in Niu family village, she was momentarily at a loss. After traveling such a long way to see Guo Jing, she now wished he wasn't at home. I'll sneak a glance at him tonight and then head back home. He mustn't find out. If he sees me, I'll be so embarrassed I could die. Just then, Lu Guanying entered the shop, asking for Guo Jing. Feeling guilty, she thought her secret had been discovered. Startled, she stood up and prepared to leave. Suddenly, a hideous face poked through the doorway, then quickly withdrew. Cheng Yaojia jumped back in fright. The ugly face reappeared and called out, "Two-headed ghost! If you got guts, come out into the sunlight and fight me! Three-headed Jiao, Lord Hao, will take you on. Three-headed Jiao, Lord Hao, will take you on. I've got one more head than you, and under the bright sun, Lord Hao fears no one." Naturally, his implication was that he'd admit defeat after dark, even when an extra head wouldn't help. Lu Guanying and Cheng Yaojia were baffled. Hong Rong snorted softly and muttered, "Oh, so they've come after all." She thought, Lu Guanying and Cheng Yaojia's martial skills aren't high enough to take on Peng Lianhu and the others. Asking for their help would only cost them their lives. It'd be best if they leave quickly. But then again, having them stay could buy us some time. Even as temporary shields, they might bolster our courage. As it turned out, Peng Lianhu and his group had fled the village at the sight of the two-headed monster, convinced the same skilled person who had played ghost tricks the night before was at it again. Only Ho Tonghai, the dim-witted one, truly believed it was a ghost. Feeling the scorching sun on his head, he cursed, "Ghosts can't cause trouble under the bright sun, and you call yourselves martial artists. What nonsense!" Determined to prove himself, he decided to return to the shop alone and deal with the ghost. Despite his it's just him. Despite his bravado, he was still trembling with fear. When he peeked inside and saw Cheng Yaojia and Lu Guanying, he thought, "Oh no, the two-headed ghost had transformed into a man and a woman. Lord Ho, you've got to be careful now." Cheng Yaojia and Lu Guanying, hearing his gibberish, exchanged puzzled glances, assuming he was a lunatic and ignoring him. Ho Tonghai cursed for a while. Seeing that the ghost hadn't come out to fight, he became even more convinced that it couldn't handle sunlight. Is it a vampire? But when it came to storming inside to catch the ghost, he didn't have the nerve. After hesitating for a long time, he remembered hearing that ghosts and zombies feared filth. He immediately went in search of something dirty. In the countryside, dung pits were everywhere, and a large one was right at the corner of the shop. Intent on catching the ghost, he didn't care about the stench, wrapped a large pile of dung in his cloth shirt, and marched back into the shop. Okay, well, did you guys see that coming? Seeing Cheng Yaojia and Lu Guanying still sitting there, he felt emboldened by his weapon. Shaking his three-pronged fork in one hand and holding the dung bundle in the other, he shouted, "You daring monsters! Lord Ho commands you to reveal your true form!" He charged into the room. Cheng Yaojia and Lu Guanying were startled by the lunatic's return. Before they could react, the stench hit them. Ho Tonghai thought to himself, "It's said that male ghosts are fierce, and female ghosts are cunning." He hurled the dung bundle at Cheng Yaojia's face. She screamed and tried to dodge, but Lu Guanying quickly grabbed a bench and blocked the disgusting bundle. The filthy contents spilled everywhere, releasing an overwhelming stench that made everyone want to gag. Ho Tonghai roared, "Two-headed ghost! Show your true form!" He thrust his fork viciously at Cheng Yaojia. Though a fool, his martial skills were formidable, and his attack was both fast and precise. Both Cheng Yaojia and Lu Guanying were alarmed. They realized this man is clearly a martial expert, not just some ordinary lunatic. Lu Guanying, worried for the frail and delicate Cheng Yaojia, feared she would be injured. He quickly raised the bench to deflect the fork and shouted, "Who are you, sir?" Ho Tonghai completely ignored Lu Guanying's question, attacking with 3 rapid thrusts of his trident. Lu Guanying parried with his bench, repeatedly asking for the attacker's name. Seeing that Lu's martial skills were respectable, but nowhere near the supernatural abilities of the previous night, Ho Tonghai grew confident. The manure trick worked. His confidence swelled, and he called out, "You ghost monster! You want my name to cast some spell on me, don't you? Well, Lord Ho won't fall for that." Normally referring to himself as Lord Ho, he cleverly omitted his surname this time, calling himself just Lord to avoid giving the supposed ghost any leverage. With the clang of steel rings on his trident and an increasingly aggressive onslaught, he pressed Lu Guanying hard. Lu, already at a disadvantage in martial skills, found the unwieldy bench further impeding him. When he tried to reach for his saber, he couldn't find an opening. Within just a few exchanges, he was forced back against the wall, inadvertently blocking Hong Rong's peephole. Ho Tonghai thrust his trident forward, narrowly missing the peephole by a mere foot as Lu dodged. When the weapon lodged in the wall, Lu swung the bench at Ho's head. Ho countered by kicking Lu's wrist and punching forward with his left hand. The bench fell from Lu's grasp as he ducked under the punch. Ho Tonghai pulled his trident free. Seeing Lu in dire straits, Cheng Yaojia quickly stepped forward, drew the saber from Lu's waist, and handed it to him. "Thank you," Lu managed, his gratitude eclipsing his surprise at the gentlewoman's daring intervention. As Ho thrust his trident toward Lu's chest, the latter swung his saber with all his might, deflecting the blow with a clash that sent sparks flying. The impact left his palm stinging, revealing Ho's considerable strength. Still, with the proper weapon now in hand, Lu felt more at ease. But as the fight continued, both fighters stepped in the filth scattered around the room, making the floor slick with manure. Ho Tonghai, initially hesitant and ready to flee at a moment's notice, realized after several exchanges that his opponent was not particularly formidable. Believing his manure weapon had nullified the ghost's powers, his confidence grew. His attacks became increasingly vicious, and Lu Guanying struggled to keep up. Cheng Yaojia, initially retreating to the corner to avoid the filth, couldn't bear to see the dashing young man potentially lose his life to this madman. Summoning her courage, she drew a longsword from her bundle. "Sir, I'll help you. Forgive me." Her courtesy was almost comical, apologizing before joining a fight. With her sword flashing, she aimed at Ho Tonghai's back, demonstrating the refined swordsmanship of her master, Qing Jing Sanren Sun Bu'er, a member of the esteemed Chenjin sect. Ho Tonghai had anticipated a second opponent, the ghost splitting into 2 forms naturally. Lu Guanying, however, was both surprised and delighted by her assistance. Watching her graceful movements and exquisite swordplay, he couldn't help but admire her. Are these two going to get together? Exhausted and drenched in sweat, he found his spirits lifted by the reinforcements. Ho Tonghai, wary of the female ghost, initially hesitated. However, after testing her abilities, he saw that while her swordsmanship was skilled, her internal strength was ordinary, and her movements betrayed nervousness. This isn't some old ghost steeped in malevolence. Growing bolder, he wielded his trident with ferocity, attacking relentlessly, despite being outnumbered. From her hiding place, Huang Rong grew increasingly anxious. She knew Lu Guanying and Cheng Yaojia wouldn't last against Ho Tonghai. She wanted to intervene, but couldn't leave Guo Jing's side. If only I could deal with that three-headed Jiao myself, it'd be child's play. Miss, please leave, Lu Guanying shouted. Don't risk yourself. Cheng Yaojia, deeply touched by his concern for her safety, shook her head resolutely. She knew he couldn't fend off the madman alone. I'll manage, she whispered. Lu Guanying redoubled his efforts, calling out to Ho Tonghai. A real man doesn't bully women. Fight me alone if you got the guts. Let this lady go. Though a brute, Ho Tonghai had now realized his opponents were human, not ghosts. Seeing Cheng Yaojia's beauty, and realizing he had the upper hand, he laughed heartily. Ha 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 ha! Catching the man is fine, but catching the woman is even better. His trident thrust, and swept with alarming ferocity, though he refrained from delivering lethal blows to Cheng Yaojia, keeping her just off balance. Miss, run! I'll hold him off, Lu Guanying urged, shouting. If I survive, I'll find you to thank you for your help. Blushing, Cheng Yaojia replied, I won't leave, sir. Then, turning to Ho Tonghai, she declared, Hey, madman, you can't hurt this gentleman. My master, Sun Zhenren of the Chen sect, is coming. The reputation of the Chen Seven Masters was renowned across the land. Ho Tonghai himself had seen Ironfoot immortal Wang Chuyi overwhelm his foes at the Chao Prince's mansion. Hearing Cheng Yaojia's words, he hesitated briefly, a flicker of fear crossing his mind. But then he spat and bellowed, Even if all 7 of those Taoist freaks come, I'll butcher them one by one. Suddenly, a clear voice came from outside. Who's tired of living and dares to spout such nonsense here? The 3 combatants, Ho Tonghai, Lu Guanying, and Cheng Yaojia, each leaped back upon hearing the voice. Lu Guanying, wary of Ho Tonghai making a sudden, underhanded attack, grabbed Cheng Yaojia's hand, pulling her behind him as he held his saber protectively in front of her. She's definitely falling for him. Then he turned to look toward the door. Standing at the entrance was a young Taoist priest, dressed in feathered robes with a star-shaped cap, his features sharp and clear. He held a horsetail whisk in one hand and sneered. Who said they're going to butcher the 7 masters of Changzhen? Ho Tonghai, gripping his trident with his right hand, placed his left hand on his hip, glaring angrily as he shouted, It was me! What of it? The Taoist smirked. Good. Go ahead, give it a try. With a swift motion, he closed the distance and swung the whisk toward Ho Tonghai's face. All right. I think that's a good place to stop. What do you guys think of this chapter? Not much happened. Okay. We started the 7-day healing process. Seems to be going well. We ran into our villains again. It seems like in this story, like people just show up out of nowhere. So I guess another Taoist came just randomly out of nowhere. And then Lu Guanying and Cheng Yaojia, they just meet randomly. Yeah. Funny chapter, you liked it? Okay. There's a lot of poop in this story. A lot of poop. We have the poop trap made by Zhou Botong on the island. And now we got this guy covering himself with poop. The world is so small. Yeah. Yeah, you just run into people everywhere and just randomly. You just run into people. How often does that happen in real life? Only one of the 7 days have passed and so many people have turned up. Yeah, true. It's just the first day. What will happen in the next few days? All right. Well, that was a good chapter. Let's see what happens next. Who is this Taoist? Okay. Who is this person? Is it one of the masters? Or is it someone else? Tune in next time to see. All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening. I love you. I will see you next time. All right. Have a good one. Bye. No drink. No drink today. All right. Have a good one. Bye.